Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build every single day. It's not about being the loudest in the room or pretending to have it all figured out. Real confidence comes from knowing yourself, trusting your journey, and daring to show up exactly as you are. Today, I want to share with you 12 steps that can take you toward unshakable confidence, the kind that doesn't crumble when life tests you. Step 1. Believe you belong. The moment you enter a room, remind yourself, you have earned your place there. Don't wait for anyone to validate you. You are enough. Step 2. Embrace your uniqueness. Stop trying to fit into a mold created by society. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your authentic self, with your quirks, your flaws, your strengths. Step 3. Master your mind. Confidence begins inside your head. Replace self-doubt with empowering thoughts. Train your mind to be your biggest cheerleader, not your harshest critic. Step 4. Prepare and practice. Confidence isn't magic, it's preparation meeting opportunity. When you've done the work, you stand taller, you speak clearer, and you walk stronger. Step 5. Take risks. Growth never comes from comfort zones. Say yes to opportunities that scare you, because fear is only a sign that you're stretching into something greater. Step 6. Learn from failure. Every setback is a stepping stone. Confidence doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from falling, rising, and saying, "That didn't break me." Step 7. Carry yourself with presence. Your body speaks before your mouth does. Stand tall, look people in the eye, and let your presence say, "I know my worth." Step 8. Own your story. Don't hide where you came from or what you've been through. Your scars, your struggles, your triumphs, they make you who you are. Wear them with pride. Step 9. Keep learning. Knowledge fuels confidence. The more you grow, the more solid you feel in your own foundation. Never stop investing in yourself. Step 10. Surround yourself with strength. The people around you shape the voice in your head. Stay close to those who uplift you, challenge you, and believe in you, even when you doubt yourself. Step 11. Speak with conviction. Whether it's a whisper or a roar, let your voice carry truth. People don't follow perfection. They follow passion and authenticity. Step 12. Choose courage always. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. Courage is the heartbeat of unshakable confidence. Confidence is not about never shaking. It's about being unshakable in your belief that you can rise again and again. When you walk through life with these 12 steps, you don't just build confidence. You build an unshakable spirit that no one and nothing can dim. Confidence is not about being fearless. It's about choosing courage every time fear shows up. Fear is something every single one of us carries deep within. It is universal, it is human, and it does not discriminate. The person standing on stage, the athlete about to compete, the student sitting in an exam hall, the parent trying to make the right choice, the entrepreneur taking a leap of faith, all of them feel fear in one way or another. But what separates those who rise from those who remain stuck is not the absence of that fear. It is the decision to act despite it. The most powerful people you admire are not without fear. They have simply built a relationship with it that allows them to walk forward anyway. Courage is not an emotion, it is a decision, and when you make that decision over and over again, something inside you shifts, something inside you grows, something inside you becomes unshakable. Think about the first time you wanted to try something new. Maybe it was raising your hand in class. Maybe it was speaking up in a meeting. Maybe it was telling someone you loved them. That pounding in your chest, that trembling in your voice, that voice inside your head whispering, "What if you fail?" that was fear. And yet, if you chose to go through with it, if you pushed forward, you felt a wave of strength that only comes when courage wins. That is confidence in its purest form. It doesn't happen in the absence of doubt. It happens when you walk with doubt as your shadow. Fear might always be there, but so can courage, and the choice between them is yours every single day. The world often tells us that confident people are the ones who don't flinch, who don't hesitate, who walk into every room as if they own it. But the truth is, even those people feel nervous before stepping into the unknown. The butterflies in the stomach are not weakness, they are energy waiting to be transformed into action. Courage is that transformation. Confidence begins the moment you stop waiting for fear to disappear and start moving with it at your side. If you wait until you feel fearless, you may wait your whole life and never begin. But if you accept that fear is natural and still step forward, you grow a kind of confidence that cannot be shaken. Every great achievement you can think of has been born out of this principle. The inventor who dared to bring an idea to life knew failure was possible. The actor who walked onto a stage for the first time knew the audience might reject them. The activist who raised their voice against injustice knew the risks were real. Yet, courage made them take the step anyway. Courage is the quiet whisper inside that says, just try. When everything else screams, stay safe. Courage is the hand you extend to yourself when your legs want to turn back. Courage is not glamorous. Sometimes it feels messy. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable. But it is the bridge between where you are and the confident version of you waiting on the other side. Fear is powerful, but it only has as much control as you allow it. Most of the fears we carry are stories we tell ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'll embarrass myself. What will people think? These stories are illusions, yet they can feel like chains. Choosing courage means breaking those chains one link at a time. It means saying, I may fail, but I will survive. It means saying, people may judge me, but their judgment doesn't define me. It means saying, I may not feel ready, but I'm ready enough to try. Every time you rewrite the story fear tells you, confidence takes root. Confidence doesn't grow from one grand moment of bravery. It grows in small acts of courage repeated daily. It grows when you decide to voice your opinion in a conversation where you'd normally stay silent. It grows when you try a new skill and accept being a beginner. It grows when you face rejection and still get back up. It grows when you look at yourself in the mirror and choose to believe in your worth even when the world doesn't affirm it. These small choices of courage add up, they accumulate, they build a foundation so strong that one day you realize you no longer crumble at fear's first knock. Instead, you welcome it, you say, I see you, but you don't own me anymore. There will be times when courage feels like the hardest choice, when fear seems louder, heavier, more convincing. Those are the moments that matter most. Those are the moments that define your strength. Confidence is forged not when everything is easy, but when you are trembling, uncertain, and still take the step forward. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, the water below both terrifying and inviting. Fear will tell you to step back, but courage tells you to leap. The leap is not about what lies below. It's about proving to yourself that you can trust your own wings. That trust, once earned, becomes unshakable confidence. Life will always present you with crossroads where fear and courage collide. Choosing courage is not about denying fear. It is about refusing to be ruled by it. Every courageous choice plants a seed. Those seeds bloom into resilience, into self, trust, into the kind of confidence that doesn't depend on circumstances. It is the confidence that allows you to stand tall when life throws storms. The confidence that allows you to rise after every fall. The confidence that whispers you can, even when everything around you says you can't. When you look back at your life, you will realize the most transformative moments weren't the times you felt comfortable. They were the times you were scared but acted anyway. That speech you delivered, that career you pursued, that decision you made, that dream you chased, all of it happened because courage won over fear. And the more often courage wins, the less power fear holds. Confidence is simply the memory of those victories carried into the present. Your uniqueness is your superpower. From the moment you were born, you are unlike anyone else. There has never been another you in history, and there never will be again. Yet so often we are taught to suppress the very things that make us different. Society creates boxes, labels, and standards of how we should look, act, or think. And in the pursuit of acceptance, too many people shrink themselves to fit into molds that were never made for them. But the truth is, the world does not celebrate sameness, it celebrates difference. It celebrates those who dare to stand out, those who embrace their individuality, those who choose authenticity over imitation. Your uniqueness is not something to be hidden. It is the very thing that sets you apart, the very thing that makes you unforgettable. Think about it. Every person you admire, every trailblazer, every innovator, every artist, every leader became who they are not by blending in, but by daring to be different. They understood that what made them unusual was not a weakness, but a gift. They turned their quirks, their struggles, their perspectives into strengths. They built their confidence not by comparing themselves to others, but by owning what made them stand out. That is the power of uniqueness. It cannot be copied, it cannot be replicated, it is yours alone. When you embrace it fully, you step into a kind of confidence that cannot be shaken because it is rooted in truth. We live in a world obsessed with comparison. Social media magnifies this even more. Scroll after scroll of curated lives, edited images, achievements showcased like trophies. It's so easy to start measuring your worth against someone else's highlight reel. But comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, it steals your originality, it convinces you that you are less. And here's the reality. Even if you tried to become like someone else, you would always be second best at being them. But you will always be number one at being yourself. When you recognize that, you stop chasing validation from outside and start cultivating it from within. Confidence grows when you no longer seek to prove yourself by being someone else, but when you stand tall as who you truly are. Embracing your uniqueness also means embracing the parts of yourself that feel uncomfortable. The scars, the struggles, the imperfections, the things you've been told are too much or not enough. Those are not flaws, they are part of your story. And your story is powerful. People connect to honesty, not perfection. They connect to the cracks because that's where the light shines through. The journey you've lived, the lessons you've learned, the battles you've fought. Those are your treasures. Wear them with pride. They are not just experiences, they are proof of your resilience, and resilience is one of the strongest forms of confidence you can carry. Your uniqueness is also your creative edge. The way you see the world, the ideas you bring, the solutions you imagine, all of them are shaped by your individuality. If you silence that, you silence your contribution. But when you allow yourself to bring your whole self into everything you do, you create impact in ways no one else can. You inspire others not because you fit in, but because you dare to stand out. And when people witness you embracing your uniqueness, they feel permission to embrace theirs too. Confidence becomes contagious. There is incredible freedom that comes when you stop apologizing for who you are. Too many people water themselves down to be liked, to avoid rejection, to fit the expectations of family, culture, or society. But every time you dilute yourself, you lose a piece of your power. Your uniqueness is not meant to be hidden in the shadows. It is meant to shine. And yes, shining might make some people uncomfortable. It might make others judge you, but their reaction is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to live authentically, to honor the one life you've been given by showing up as the full version of yourself. Confidence is not about being flawless. It is about being real, and nothing is more real than embracing your uniqueness. Imagine walking into a room and no longer asking yourself, "Do I fit in?" Instead asking, "What can I bring that only I can bring?" That shift changes everything. Suddenly, you stop competing and start contributing. You stop fearing rejection and start realizing that those who value you will value you for exactly who you are, and those who don't were never meant to walk your path anyway. Owning your uniqueness also means setting boundaries. Because when you know your worth, you don't allow others to diminish it. You don't settle for relationships, opportunities, or environments that require you to compromise your truth. You choose spaces where your uniqueness is celebrated, not tolerated. And in doing so, you strengthen the foundation of your confidence. The journey of embracing your uniqueness is not always easy. There will be times when the world pushes you to conform, when the weight of expectations feels heavy, when standing out feels lonely. But those are the exact moments when you need to remind yourself that blending in may give you temporary comfort, but it will never give you lasting fulfillment. Confidence is not found in following the crowd. It is found in following your own path, no matter how different it looks. Your uniqueness is not just for you. It is your gift to the world. Somewhere out there, someone needs to see you living authentically so they can find the courage to do the same. Someone needs your perspective, your voice, your creativity, your way of being. By embracing your uniqueness, you give others permission to embrace theirs. And that ripple effect creates a more authentic, more confident, more beautiful world. So let your uniqueness be your superpower. Let it guide you, let it define you, let it carry you through every challenge and every opportunity. Because when you embrace it fully, you unlock a confidence that no criticism, no rejection, no obstacle can ever take away from you. Failure doesn't weaken confidence. Hiding from failure does. Failure has always been misunderstood. For many, it feels like a dead end, a verdict that says you are not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that failure is shameful, something to be avoided at all costs, something that lowers our worth in the eyes of others. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of confidence. It is the very soil in which true confidence is grown. Every confident person you admire has failed, not once, not twice, but countless times. The difference is, they did not hide from those failures. They faced them, learned from them, and used them as stepping stones towards strength. Confidence is not built in the absence of failure. It is built in the resilience you develop because of it. Think about the times you've stumbled in your own life. Maybe it was an exam you didn't pass, a job you didn't get, a dream you pursued that didn't work out, or a relationship that fell apart. In those moments, failure felt heavy, almost unbearable, and yet here you are. You survived, and if you look closely, you'll see that those failures taught you something that success never could. They taught you endurance. They taught you humility. They taught you how to begin again. That wisdom, that ability to stand back up after being knocked down, is the foundation of confidence. Failure didn't weaken you, it revealed your strength. The real danger is not in failing, it is in avoiding failure altogether. When you hide from failure, when you play small to stay safe, you rob yourself of growth. You stay in your comfort zone, never risking, never trying, never discovering what you're truly capable of. But comfort zones are prisons in disguise. They keep you locked in the illusion of safety while stealing the opportunities that come only when you dare to fail forward. Confidence comes not from a life without failure, but from knowing that even if you fail, you can handle it. And the only way to build that knowing is by facing failure, not hiding from it. Failure is also the greatest teacher of authenticity. When you succeed, people may applaud you, but when you fail, you are forced to meet yourself honestly. Failure strips away the masks, the pretense, the false confidence, and shows you who you are at your core. It reveals what matters to you, what you're willing to fight for, what dreams are worth the risk of falling again and again. That kind of clarity doesn't come from avoiding failure, it comes from embracing it. And when you live with that clarity, your confidence is unshakable because it is rooted not in perfection, but in truth. Look at the greatest stories of resilience in history. Innovators who transformed industries, leaders who changed nations, artists who left legacies. All of them walked through failure. The light bulb was invented after thousands of failed attempts. Some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs were once bankrupt. Some of the most iconic performers were rejected countless times before anyone believed in them. If failure weakened confidence, none of these stories would exist. Instead, their failures built the muscle of persistence, the courage to try again, the belief that one no is not the end, but only a step closer to the right yes. That is what makes their confidence so powerful. It was forged in the fire of failure. When you hide from failure, you also hide from opportunity. Every new skill you want to master, every dream you want to chase, every risk you want to take comes with the possibility of failure. If you let the fear of that possibility stop you, you never grow into your potential. But if you accept that failure is part of the process, you free yourself. You stop worrying about looking perfect and start focusing on becoming better. You stop fearing mistakes and start seeing them as feedback. You stop running from rejection and start realizing it's only redirection. That mindset is the birthplace of true confidence. Failure also teaches compassion. When you have failed, you understand what it feels like to be vulnerable, to doubt yourself, to struggle. That experience allows you to connect with others in a deeper way. It makes you more empathetic, more human, more real. And when you carry that humanity into your confidence, people trust you, they resonate with you, they are inspired by you. Perfection may impress people temporarily, but authenticity, the kind that comes from owning both your successes and your failures, creates lasting impact. Hiding from failure, on the other hand, creates a fragile confidence. When you build your identity around always being right, always winning, always succeeding, even the smallest failure can shatter you. That kind of confidence is built on shaky ground because it depends on external results. But when you embrace failure as part of the journey, your confidence is no longer tied to whether you win or lose, but to the fact that you show up and give your best. That confidence cannot be taken away by any single failure because it is rooted in effort, growth, and resilience. Failure also liberates you from the illusion of control. So often, we hesitate to try because we want guarantees. Guarantees that we'll succeed, guarantees that people will approve, guarantees that it will all work out. But life doesn't offer guarantees. What it offers is the chance to try, to learn, to grow. Failure reminds you that control is limited, but courage is infinite. You can't control every outcome, but you can control your willingness to keep going. And when you live with that understanding, you carry a quiet, steady confidence that nothing can shake. Most importantly, failure builds trust in yourself. Every time you face failure and rise again, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. You develop a memory of resilience, a record of survival, a collection of victories hidden inside defeats. That memory becomes your inner strength. So the next time fear whispers, "What if you fail?" you can confidently answer, "Then I will rise again because I always have." That is the kind of confidence that no amount of hiding can give you. Failure doesn't weaken confidence, hiding from failure does. When you hide, you shrink, you silence your potential, you live a life smaller than the one you are meant for. But when you face failure, you expand, you discover, you evolve. You realize that failure is not the end, but the beginning of wisdom, courage, and unshakable confidence. When preparation meets opportunity, confidence becomes unstoppable. Too often we look at someone who seems naturally confident and assume they were born that way, as if confidence is some magical gift handed only to a chosen few. But the truth is, what looks like effortless confidence is usually the product of relentless preparation behind the scenes. It is the hours of practice when no one is watching, the sacrifices made in silence, the repetition of skills until they become second nature. Preparation is the secret foundation of confidence, and when it finally meets the right opportunity, the result is a force that feels unshakable. Think about the first time you had to do something important. Maybe it was giving a presentation, going for an interview, or stepping onto a stage. If you weren't prepared, your nerves probably took over. The shaking hands, the racing heartbeat, the words stumbling out awkwardly. But when you've prepared, when you've done the work, something changes. Your body may still feel the nerves, but your mind knows you are ready. That knowledge calms you, it grounds you, it fuels you with the assurance that you have done everything in your control to succeed. That's why preparation is such a powerful confidence builder. It gives you a sense of control in situations that would otherwise feel overwhelming. Preparation also creates clarity. When you prepare, you anticipate challenges, you think ahead, you rehearse solutions. Instead of being caught off guard, you're ready to adapt. This clarity transforms fear into focus. Fear thrives in uncertainty, but preparation reduces uncertainty by giving you a roadmap. You may still face obstacles, but instead of panicking, you respond with intention. That ability to respond rather than react is what makes confidence shine through in high-pressure moments. People may look at you and say, "You're so confident," But what they don't see is the hours of preparation that gave you that calmness and presence. Opportunity, on the other hand, is often unpredictable. It doesn't always arrive when you expect it. It can come in the form of a chance meeting, a sudden opening, an unexpected challenge. And in that moment, your level of preparation decides whether you rise or hesitate. Many people miss opportunities not because they weren't capable, but because they weren't prepared when the door opened. Confidence is not about luck, it's about being so ready that when luck arrives, you can seize it without hesitation. That's why preparation and opportunity are inseparable. Opportunity tests you, preparation equips you, and confidence is the result of the two coming together. Some people wait endlessly for the perfect opportunity before they begin preparing. But the truth is, preparation must come first. If you wait until the opportunity arrives to start getting ready, it's already too late. Confidence is built in the moments before the spotlight ever finds you. The athlete trains for years before competing. The musician practices thousands of hours before stepping onto the stage. The leader studies, learns, and sharpens skills before facing the challenge. By the time opportunity arrives, they are not scrambling. They are stepping into a role they have already prepared for. That is why their confidence feels so natural, so unstoppable. Preparation also builds consistency. One success alone does not create lasting confidence. True confidence comes from repeating preparation over and over until it becomes who you are. When you consistently prepare, you create a track record with yourself. You begin to trust your own discipline. You know that no matter the situation, you have built the habit of readiness, that self-trust becomes the backbone of confidence. It is no longer about whether things will go perfectly, but about the assurance that you can handle whatever happens because you have prepared for it. Another powerful aspect of preparation is that it eliminates excuses. When you are unprepared and fail, doubt creeps in and eats away at your confidence. You question your abilities, your worth, your place. But when you are prepared and still face setbacks, you don't blame yourself. You simply learn and improve. Preparation frees you from the burden of regret because you know you gave your best effort. That knowledge strengthens confidence because it shifts your focus from outcome to process. You no longer fear results as much because you trust the work you've put in. Opportunity can be fleeting, but preparation creates momentum. One prepared moment leads to another, and soon you begin to attract more opportunities because people notice your readiness. Confidence in this way becomes self-reinforcing. The more you prepare, the more opportunities you can seize. The more opportunities you seize, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the more doors open. It is a cycle of growth that begins with preparation. Preparation also builds humility. It reminds you that confidence is not arrogance or entitlement. It is earned. It is the quiet assurance that comes from putting in the work long before anyone else sees the results. Arrogance crumbles under pressure because it lacks substance, but confidence built on preparation stands strong because it is rooted in real ability. When opportunity tests you, arrogance pretends, confidence performs. That difference is visible, undeniable, and lasting. The beauty of preparation is that it doesn't just build skills, it builds character. It teaches patience, discipline, focus, and resilience. These qualities stay with you long after one specific opportunity passes. They become part of who you are, and they radiate through your confidence in every area of life. People can sense when you have done the work. It shows in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you handle challenges. That kind of presence cannot be faked. It is the result of countless hours of unseen preparation meeting the moment of opportunity. Confidence is often misunderstood as boldness or charisma, but at its core, it is about trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your preparation, trust that when the moment arrives, you will deliver. And that trust only comes from the work you've put in before anyone was watching. The strongest confidence is quiet, steady, unshakable, because it knows the foundation beneath it is solid. It doesn't need to prove itself, it simply is. So when preparation meets opportunity, confidence becomes unstoppable. Because in that moment, you are no longer relying on hope, on luck, or on external validation. You are standing on the solid ground of readiness, facing the door of possibility, and walking through it with certainty. That is the kind of confidence that not only seizes opportunities, but also creates them. Unshakable confidence is built daily. It's not a gift, it's a practice. Too often people look at confidence as something magical that appears suddenly, as if one day you wake up fearless and unstoppable. But confidence doesn't work like that. It is not handed to you by chance or reserved for the lucky few. It is the result of small choices, repeated actions, and consistent habits built over time. Just like muscles grow through daily exercise, confidence grows through daily practice. It's not about grand moments of bravery alone. It's about the little things you do every single day that strengthen your belief in yourself until it becomes unshakable. Every day you are faced with choices. Speak up or stay silent, try or hold back, step forward or hesitate. Each time you choose action over fear, you are building confidence. Each time you choose authenticity over pretending, you are building confidence. Each time you choose growth over comfort, you are building confidence. These choices may seem small in the moment, but over time they accumulate and shape the way you see yourself. The more consistently you choose courage, the stronger your self-belief becomes. And when self-belief becomes a daily habit, confidence is no longer fragile. It is unshakable. Confidence is built through discipline. When you keep promises to yourself, when you follow through on what you say you will do, you begin to trust yourself. That trust is everything. Many people lose confidence because they constantly break their own commitments. They say they will start, but they don't. They say they will improve, but they stop halfway. They say they will show up, but they disappear. Each broken promise weakens the relationship you have with yourself. But when you practice discipline, when you follow through even on the small things, you strengthen that relationship. You start to see yourself as reliable, capable, and strong. That self-trust translates into confidence in every area of life. Unshakable confidence is also built through preparation. Daily practice sharpens your skills, deepens your knowledge, and creates a foundation you can rely on. The speaker who prepares every day eventually walks on stage with presence. The athlete who trains daily eventually competes with power. The student who studies consistently eventually faces exams with calm. Preparation is not glamorous, and it often feels repetitive, but it is in those repetitive moments that confidence is born. The more prepared you are, the less room fear has to take over. And when preparation becomes a daily habit, confidence becomes your natural state. Another daily practice that builds confidence is self-reflection. Taking time to look back at your actions, your choices, your progress allows you to grow with awareness. Confidence is not about ignoring mistakes, it is about learning from them. Each day, when you reflect and ask yourself, what did I do well? What can I improve? You are training your mind to see both your strengths and your areas of growth without judgment. That balance keeps your confidence grounded and real. It prevents arrogance and builds resilience because you know you can always improve while still honoring what you've already accomplished. Confidence is also built in the way you speak to yourself daily. The inner voice you carry shapes your entire reality. If every day you feed yourself doubt, negativity, and criticism, your confidence will shrink. But if every day you feed yourself encouragement, affirmations, and belief, your confidence will expand. The words you say to yourself matter more than the words anyone else says about you. When you practice self-kindness daily, you train your mind to support you rather than sabotage you. And over time, that supportive voice becomes a powerful source of unshakable confidence. Daily action is another key. Confidence doesn't come from overthinking, it comes from doing. Every day that you take action, no matter how small, you create momentum. Action builds proof, and proof builds confidence. You may not feel ready, but by taking steps anyway, you gather evidence that you can handle more than you thought. That evidence compounds. The more you act, the more proof you collect. And the more proof you collect, the more unshakable your confidence becomes. Daily action is the fuel that transforms belief into certainty. Consistency is the glue that holds it all together. Confidence is not built in one moment of success or destroyed in one moment of failure. It is built through consistent practice, day after day. Even when you don't feel motivated, even when you feel tired, even when fear whispers in your ear, showing up consistently keeps your confidence alive. The small wins you collect daily create a pattern, and that pattern creates identity. Soon, you don't just do confident things, you become a confident person. And once confidence becomes part of your identity, it is very hard for anything to shake it. Another daily practice that strengthens confidence is surrounding yourself with the right environment. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, the energy you absorb, all of it shapes your mindset. If you are surrounded by negativity, doubt, and discouragement, your confidence will weaken. But if you are surrounded by inspiration, encouragement, and growth, your confidence will strengthen. Each day you have the choice to curate your environment in a way that feeds your belief rather than drains it. Over time, that environment becomes a shield that protects your confidence from being shaken by the outside world. Unshakable confidence is also built by embracing discomfort daily. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, you expand your limits. What felt terrifying yesterday feels normal tomorrow. Fear shrinks when you face it regularly. If you practice leaning into discomfort every day, whether it's trying something new, speaking your mind, or taking a risk, you gradually train yourself to be at ease in situations that once felt impossible. That adaptability becomes a powerful source of confidence because you no longer fear the unknown. You've practiced facing it daily. Another element is gratitude. When you practice gratitude daily, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. Gratitude builds contentment, and contentment builds confidence. You stop feeling like you are constantly behind or not enough. Instead, you recognize the value in your journey, the strengths you already carry, the progress you've already made. Gratitude grounds your confidence, making it stable and real. The truth is, confidence is not a one-time achievement. It is not something you win once and keep forever. It is like a garden that needs daily tending. If you neglect it, weeds of doubt and fear will grow. But if you nurture it daily with preparation, reflection, action, discipline, kindness, and gratitude, it flourishes. And when it flourishes consistently over time, it becomes unshakable. Confidence is not found in rare, extraordinary moments. It is built in the ordinary moments of each day. The way you speak to yourself, the actions you take, the choices you make, the discipline you follow, the risks you embrace, all of these small daily practices add up. They compound into something greater than the sum of their parts. They build a confidence so deep that when life tests you, you do not crumble because your strength has been built day after day.